Have you ever walked into a room and sensed something off, not necessarily bad, just different? Or maybe you've noticed a dear friend or family member who just doesn't seem to be themselves anymore. Little things adding up. Things you notice but feel too awkward to mention. It's a common, unspoken reality for many of us as we get a little older. A quiet shift in habits and appearance that others pick up on, even if we don't. It's not about judgment. Not at all. But about understanding these subtle changes that can unintentionally create a distance between us and the people we love, or simply make daily life a little less joyful. We're talking about those small, often unconscious habits that creep in, making us appear a little less vibrant, a little less connected, or frankly, a little less fresh. The painful truth is, these aren't just isolated incidents. They can be signs of deeper issues, or simply things that become harder to manage as our bodies and minds change. But here's the secret. These aren't permanent problems. They are often fixable with a little awareness and some simple, gentle adjustments. In this video, we're going to gently explore 5 of these commonly noticed, yet rarely discussed, shifts that seniors might experience. And more importantly, we'll talk about simple, practical ways to navigate them, helping us all live more confidently and comfortably. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about why these things happen in the first place. So, let's start with what sometimes becomes the most noticeable, yet unspoken shift. And that's a subtle change in how we smell or how our personal spaces present themselves. It's not a topic anyone wants to bring up. And it's certainly not something we're always aware of in ourselves. Our sense of smell often diminishes as we age, which means we might not notice when we're carrying a particular scent, perhaps a faint mustiness, or even a lingering smell of stale food or medication on our clothes, or in our homes. This isn't about cleanliness. It's often about changes in our bodies, our skin, our metabolism, or even just reduced physical activity making it harder to keep up with daily routines. Think about it, a less active lifestyle can mean fewer showers. And certain medications can affect our body chemistry. Dry mouth, which is very common with many medications, can also lead to bad breath. And sometimes, our teeth and gums just need a bit more attention as we get older. The fix for this is wonderfully simple, yet profoundly impactful. Firstly, a consistent daily shower or bath, even a quick freshen up if a full shower feels like too much, can make a world of difference. Using a mild, moisturizing soap helps keep your skin healthy and clean without stripping its natural oils. Secondly, pay extra attention to your oral hygiene, brushing twice a day. Flossing and using a non-alcoholic mouthwash can combat dry mouth and keep your breath fresh. If you wear dentures, cleaning them thoroughly every single day is crucial. Consider regular visits to your dentist, as they can spot issues like gum disease or dental problems that contribute to unpleasant odors. Beyond personal care, think about your clothes. Fabrics can hold on to smells, especially if they've been worn multiple times or stored for a while. A simple routine of changing clothes daily, especially undergarments, and washing them regularly with a good laundry detergent, perhaps with a scent booster if you like, can work wonders. Open windows to air out your home, especially bedrooms and kitchens, and consider a small air purifier, or even just bowls of baking soda in strategic spots to absorb lingering smells. It's not about being obsessive, but about creating a routine that helps you feel fresh and confident, and ensures those around you feel comfortable in your presence. It truly makes a difference to our social interactions when we feel clean and smell pleasant. Sometimes, it's not even a strong smell, just a subtle, persistent one that indicates a need for a little more attention to these details. And it's not just about what others notice. It's about how it makes you feel about yourself. Feeling clean and fresh boosts your own self-esteem, making you more inclined to step out and engage with the world. Think of it as a quiet act of self-love, a daily ritual that says, I care about myself, and I care about how I present myself to the world. Now, moving on from these subtle physical shifts, let's talk about something else that often becomes noticeable. And that's a change in how we interact with the world, sometimes becoming less engaged or even a bit withdrawn. That brings us to what some might call the retreating spirit, or the grumpy grandpa-grandma syndrome. Now, please understand, this isn't about being inherently grumpy, but sometimes, as we age, we can become less engaged with the world, more isolated, or perhaps more prone to complaining or negativity. People might notice that conversations become one-sided, or that we seem less interested in new things, or even that we just don't have that spark we once did. This isn't always a conscious choice. It can be a side effect of loneliness, health issues, loss, or even just a general slowing down of life. Sometimes, our social circles shrink, our mobility decreases, and the world can start to feel overwhelming or irrelevant. We might find ourselves falling into routines that don't involve much external engagement. And over time, that can make us appear less approachable, or simply, well, less fun to be around. The good news is, reigniting that spark is absolutely possible. And it often starts with very small steps. One key is active engagement, instead of just listening passively. Try to ask follow-up questions. Express genuine curiosity about what others are saying. And offer your own thoughts and experiences in a balanced way. This isn't about dominating the conversation, but about contributing to it meaningfully. If you find yourself complaining a lot, try to catch yourself and pivot to something positive, even if it's just acknowledging a small joy, like a beautiful day or a kind gesture from someone. It takes practice, but shifting your internal monologue from negative to positive can truly change your outward demeanor. Another crucial aspect is staying connected. Loneliness is a silent epidemic among seniors, and it's a major contributor to this retreating spirit. Make a conscious effort to reach out to friends and family, even if it's just a phone call or a quick video chat. Join local groups or clubs that align with your interests. A book club, a walking group, a card game, a volunteer organization. If getting out is difficult, explore online communities or virtual classes. The key is to find ways to interact with others, to share experiences, and to feel a part of something larger than yourself. This also means being open to new experiences and ideas. It's easy to get set in our ways, but a willingness to learn something new, to try a different recipe, to listen to a different type of music, or to visit a new place, even a local park you've never explored, can keep your mind agile and your spirit vibrant. This openness makes you more interesting to others and keeps you from becoming rigid in your thinking. When you're genuinely interested in the world tends to be more interested in you. Remember, that spark you had is still there. It just might need a little fanning. Cultivating a positive outlook and actively seeking out social connections aren't just good for others. They are incredibly good for your own mental and emotional well-being, helping you radiate warmth and engagement instead of a quiet withdrawal. It's about being present, truly present, in your interactions, and showing genuine interest in the people and the world around you. Now that we've discussed how subtle personal care and social engagement can make a huge difference, let's move on to another aspect that often becomes noticeable but is rarely addressed directly. Next, let's address something that often comes up in conversations with older individuals. And that's what we might gently call the looping narratives, or the challenge of easily following a new conversation thread. You might find yourself repeating stories you've already told, sometimes multiple times, or perhaps struggling to keep up with the flow of a new discussion, causing you to interject with something unrelated or just generally feel a bit lost. This isn't a sign of lack of intelligence. It's often a natural part of cognitive changes that happen with age. Combined with the way our memories store and retrieve information, our long-term memories for past events are often very strong, while short-term memory and the ability to process new information quickly can become a bit slower. This can lead to conversations feeling disjointed or making others feel like they aren't being heard. The good news is, there are some very effective and gentle ways to manage this, making your interactions smoother and more enjoyable for everyone. One key strategy is to become a more active listener. Before sharing your own thoughts or stories, truly focus on what the other person is saying. Try to absorb their words, and if you need to, take a moment to process them. You can even repeat back a key point they made to show you've heard them. Something like, "So, if I understand correctly, you're saying..." This not only helps you track the conversation, but also makes the other person feel valued and understood. If you catch yourself about to repeat a story, a simple phrase like, "I might have told you this before, but," can work wonders. It acknowledges the possibility without making it awkward. Alternatively, you can pause and ask yourself, is this relevant to what we're talking about right now? Sometimes, simply being aware of the tendency to repeat helps you decide if it's the right moment to share that particular anecdote. Another incredibly helpful tip is to keep your mind stimulated in new ways. It's like exercise for your brain. Engage in activities that challenge you to learn new things or think differently. This could be learning a new language, trying a new hobby like painting or playing a musical instrument, solving puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku, or even exploring new routes on your daily walk, reading new books, watching documentaries, or listening to informative podcasts can also introduce new information and ideas, giving you fresh topics to discuss. Limit passive activities like excessive TV watching, which don't require much mental effort. The goal is to keep your brain active and engaged, making it easier to process new information and follow complex conversations. If you find yourself truly struggling, don't hesitate to mention it gently. A simple, "My memory isn't quite what it used to be. So bear with me if I ask you to repeat something," can open the door for understanding and patience from others. It's about self-awareness and being proactive in managing these natural changes, rather than letting them create a barrier. By focusing on active listening and continuous mental engagement, you can ensure your conversations are vibrant and enjoyable for everyone involved. Now that we've touched on how we communicate, let's turn our attention to another area that often becomes noticeable, and that's the state of our living spaces. That brings us to what some people gently refer to as the overgrown nest, the tendency for clutter and disorganization to accumulate in our homes as we get older. While it's not always a sign of a deeper issue, a home that feels overwhelmed with belongings can impact our peace of mind, make things harder to find, and even become a safety hazard with tripping risks. It's easy for things to pile up. Maybe we're holding on to sentimental items? Or perhaps physical limitations make decluttering feel like a monumental task. Whatever the reason, an untidy or overly full home can send an unintended message to visitors and even contribute to our own feelings of being overwhelmed. The good news is, you don't need to tackle it all at once. And there are gentle, effective ways to reclaim your space. The key is to approach decluttering not as a massive spring cleaning event, but as a series of small, manageable, daily habits. Start small. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or even just one tabletop. Dedicate 15 minutes a day, or even just 10, to sorting through items in that specific area. Ask yourself, do I use this? Do I love this? Does it serve a purpose? If the answer is no to all three, consider letting it go. Have a designated place for everything. When you bring something new into your home, whether it's groceries, mail, or a new purchase, immediately put it in its designated spot. This simple habit prevents piles from forming in the first place. Regularly discard mail and papers you don't need. Create a system for important documents, perhaps a simple folder or file box, so they don't get lost in the shuffle. If an item is broken and you haven't fixed it in a month or two, it's probably time to let it go. The same goes for clothes you haven't worn in a year. Remember, things are meant to serve us, not to burden us. If an item no longer serves a purpose or brings you joy, it's okay to release it. Consider donating items to charity, giving them to family members who might use them, or simply recycling or discarding them responsibly. If the task feels too overwhelming, enlist the help of a trusted family member or a professional organizer, even for just a few hours. They can offer an objective perspective and physical assistance, but often, just starting small, one drawer at a time, can build momentum and help you see progress. A decluttered space isn't just about aesthetics. It's about creating a calm, safe, and functional environment that supports your well-being. It reduces stress, makes it easier to clean, and helps you feel more in control of your surroundings. It's an act of kindness to yourself, creating a space where you can truly relax and thrive. It also allows friends and family to visit comfortably, without navigating obstacles or feeling uneasy about the state of your home. It's about making your home a sanctuary, not a storage unit. Next, we'll dive into a very personal area that often mirrors our internal state. Finally, let's talk about something incredibly personal, yet often quite visible to others. And that's what we might call the unpolished reflection. This refers to a gradual decline in attention to personal appearance and clothing, perhaps wearing clothes that are stained, ill-fitting, or not suited for the occasion or weather. It's not about being fashionable or chasing trends. It's about presenting oneself in a way that feels respectful, put together, and comfortable. Sometimes, as we age, physical limitations can make dressing difficult, or a diminishing social life might make us feel there's no point in dressing up. We might prioritize comfort above all else, which is perfectly fine. But sometimes that comfort slides into indifference about how we look to the outside world. And that can send a message, even if unintended, about our state of mind or our level of self-care. It's a subtle shift, but one that family and friends often notice. The fix here is deeply tied to self-esteem and creating simple, enjoyable routines. Firstly, choose comfortable clothes that are also clean and in good repair. You don't need a fancy wardrobe. A few well-fitting, comfortable tops and bottoms that are free of stains and tears can make all the difference. When buying new clothes, prioritize ease of wear. Elastic waistbands, larger buttons, or slip-on shoes can make getting dressed much simpler. Lay out your clothes for the next day the night before. This removes the morning decision-making stress and ensures you put on something appropriate. Secondly, embrace simple grooming habits daily. This means regular hair brushing, keeping nails trimmed and clean, and ensuring your glasses are clean. Even a quick splash of water on your face and a dab of moisturizer can make you feel more refreshed. For men, a regular shave or beard trim. For women, a touch of lipstick or a little blush can lift your spirits immensely. These aren't about vanity. They are about routines that signal to yourself and others that you value yourself and your well-being. Think about the power of personal presentation. When you look neat and well cared for, it boosts your own confidence and signals to others that you are capable and engaged. It can even make you feel more positive and energetic, prompting you to step out and enjoy your day. It's about finding that balance between comfort and caring for your appearance. Remember, these small daily acts of self-care are incredibly powerful. They contribute to your mental health, your physical comfort, and how others perceive you. These 5 areas, personal freshness, social engagement, conversational presence, home organization, and personal appearance, are all interconnected. When we address one, it often has a positive ripple effect on the others. The surprising truth I promised you at the beginning, the underlying reason why these subtle shifts often occur, is not usually malice or laziness, but rather a combination of sensory changes, physical limitations, emotional shifts like loneliness or loss, and quite simply, a lifetime of accumulated habits, both good and bad, that become more pronounced over time. It's rarely about a lack of caring. It's often about a lack of awareness or the overwhelming feeling that change is too hard. But, you see, it's not hard. It's about gentle, consistent awareness and taking small, actionable steps. Remember, small changes truly can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Every single one of these suggestions is a gentle way to reclaim a little more comfort, confidence, and connection in your life. You are not alone in noticing these things, and you are absolutely capable of making positive changes. We'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Have you noticed any of these shifts in yourself or others? What small steps have you found helpful? Your insights could really help someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content designed to empower you to live your best life at every age. Take care of yourselves and keep embracing every wonderful day ahead.